Great morning. It's Monday. It's time to get it. Toby's amped up. Roxy's kind of amped up. I'm super amped up. Let's get it. Super excited. Welcome to the call. Welcome. We're excited to get started with this great Monday morning. You know, Monday is such a great opportunity to start the week strong, start your life strong. I feel like every Monday we get a new reset. So I'm super excited about making this opportunity the best. And that starts with the mindset, So we got a great video today. Roxy actually found it by a gentleman named Proctor. This guy has been really, we've been listening to him a lot this week. I listened to his 11 Forgotten Laws audiobook. Great listen. I definitely recommend you check it out. Just a lot of his mindset is really, really deep. Just to give you a little bit of background, he hasn't been dabbling in personal development, mindset, deeper thought for a few years. This man's been doing it for over 50 years. So with that level of time, there comes a certain amount of mastery. Even if you didn't know anything, you do something for that long, you're going to gain some levels of mastery. So I'm excited to learn from this master, Bob Proctor. He talks about ways that you can use your subconscious mind. So we have the conscious mind, which is what we actively think. Then you have this whole huge subconscious mind, which makes your heart beat all day, which makes your blood vessels dilate and close up, which makes your blood flow, which makes you breathe, which keeps you alive. Like all these things that would not be possible without the subconscious mind. So he's going to show you how to program it intentionally to give you success. Because at times in life, our subconscious has been programmed unbeknownst to us, like we didn't even know, not for success, for something other than success. And now we get to be aware of it first and now use the law of programming in our favor. So without further ado, let's welcome the homie Bob. Is it not the rich homie Quan, but the homie Bob, the smart homie Bob?
In the last video that we made here together, I went through how the conscious mind works, how the subconscious, and how the body is an expression of the mind. And as you go through that, if you go through it a few times, you're going to see, yeah, that's exactly what happens. Now, I want you to think of this for a moment. When you impress an idea upon your subconscious mind, that alters the vibration of this instrument we call our body. See, our body is a molecular structure. Really what it is. It's a massive energy in a very high speed of vibration. Now, we invented a word to describe our conscious awareness of vibration, and that word is feeling. If you ask a person, how are you today? They'll say, well, I'm feeling fine, or I don't feel that good, I feel great. You never hear a person say, oh, I'm consciously aware of being emotionally involved with a negative idea, so therefore I've moved into a negative vibration. But that's exactly what happens. So, you see, as we start to understand this, and we become aware that we're not feeling too good, we can change it. Now, it takes a little training, but you can do it. We are really in charge of how we feel. Now, we let other people upset us, but we don't have to let other people upset us. We don't need to react to them. We can respond. We can listen to what they're saying, and they say, well, you're entitled to your opinion, but that's just not what I'm like. And we can hold our own idea of ourselves. You see, it's important that we grasp how the mind works and that we understand the relationship of the body to the mind and the mind to the body. Now, it's our results that we want to change. Now, our results could be in our physical body. It may want to cast off a few pounds. You may want to put on a couple of pounds. You may want to have a little higher energy. See, all the energy there ever was or ever will be is 100% evenly present in all places at the same time. Everything's energy. You'll hear people say, where does he get all the energy? Where does she get all the... Nobody gets energy. Everybody releases energy. Desire is the triggering mechanism that lets the energy flow. Now, let's go back and have a quick review. Here you've got the little stick person here. There you've got the conscious mind. And remember, you have the sensory factors hooked up to the conscious mind. And then you have the subconscious mind, and then you have the body. Now, the conscious mind has the ability to choose thoughts. Those thoughts turn into pictures. We turn the pictures over to the subconscious mind, and then the subconscious mind expresses the action. All right? Now, what is the problem? Remember, we said the subconscious mind had no ability to reject. We said the subconscious mind cannot differentiate between what's real and what's imagined. How did we arrive on the scene? I'll tell you. When you arrived on the scene, you did not have any conscious faculties developed. The sensory factors weren't even developed. This is how you arrive. That's called the little life. That's the baby. No conscious mind. So there's the subconscious mind. It's wide open. You can put anything in it. You see, your subconscious mind is programmed genetically. That's why we look like our relatives. It's built right into the genes at birth. But then we're programmed environmentally. Carl Mendinger from the Mendinger Foundation in Topeka one time said, environment is more important than heredity. Why do you think you speak the language you speak? You speak that language because you were surrounded by people that speak that language in your little life. And the language just went right into the subconscious mind. If you grew up in a home that was bilingual, you learned both languages. I had an associate over in Kuala Lumpur, had a little boy, he spoke 4 languages at 4 years of age. And you'd look at that and you'd say, my gosh. No. The baby was programmed. Why do you like the food you like? It's programming. That's right. Now, let's stop and think about the environment we were raised in. Here's the baby, and look at the ideas and the thoughts and the concepts that are going on around that baby are going right into that baby's subconscious mind. Now, through repetition, over and over and over again, and remember, the baby's getting it all day, all week, every week, all month, every month, all year, and this goes on for 4 or 5 years. And the baby reaches the age of 4 or 5 where they can start to think that baby's programmed. That baby is programmed to think like the people it had been surrounded by. If the people that surrounded that baby had gone right through school, the baby will probably grow up and go right through school. If the people that were surrounding that baby always lived in hard times, never had any money, always in debt, that's probably how that baby's going to grow up. Well, this is bizarre, but this is how it happens. It's how it happens for me. I was raised during a depression. We didn't have any money. There was always talk about no money. You should be satisfied with what you've got. Well, that's not true. You should never be satisfied with what you've got. You should be happy with what you've got. Dissatisfaction is actually a creative state. So here we have now a baby that has been programmed. Now, let's take and think for a moment. What happens when that baby starts to think for itself? Now think of this. The paradigm controls the vibration controls the action which produces the result. Now here we go. Here you got the baby with the paradigm and the conscious faculties have developed. They have the ability to think. There's a power flowing into them. What are they going to think? They're going to think thoughts that are in harmony with that paradigm. That's right. We've been raised to believe you go to work to earn money. Do you know that working is the very worst way to earn money? That's right. You should go to work for satisfaction, not for money. You provide service for money. You can earn money while you're sleeping. In fact, we have programs where we teach people to actually earn more money while they're sleeping than they'll ever need to use while they're awake. You say, well, that's a pipe dream. No. That's a paradigm that causes you to think that's a pipe dream. There's people doing that are nowhere near as bright as you. But here we are now. We've got the person. They've been programmed in their little life genetically and environmentally. That paradigm is nothing but a multitude of habits. A habit is an idea that's been programmed into the subconscious mind over and over and over again. Now, the paradigm is literally controlling the behavior. Consciously, you can think of one thing, but subconsciously, the other idea will be controlling you. See, we can sit down and we can read these self-help books. We can listen to the recordings. We say, yeah, well, I can do that. That makes sense. That's logical. But then we can't do it. Why? Now think of this for a moment. I want you to imagine that you're going to accept an idea right now to turn your annual income to a monthly income. You say, well, I'd like that. But will you do it? Probably not. Your paradigm will stop you. See, your paradigm literally controls the results. Now, let's think of how the paradigm was formed. The paradigm was formed through repetition. The ideas being planted in your subconscious mind. Now, understand your paradigm dictates your logic. Your paradigm controls how you utilize your time. Your paradigm controls your perception of situations. Your paradigm controls your effectiveness. Your paradigm controls the amount of money you earn. If you want to change your life, you must change your paradigm. You see, to most people, it's illogical that they could take and turn their annual income to a monthly income. But if you follow our teachings, we'll show you exactly how to do that. We'll show you how to accomplish anything you want to accomplish because what we're focused on is showing you how to change the paradigm. When the paradigms change, your life changes. It's a beautiful concept. It's an absolutely phenomenal concept. Now you know why you're getting the results you're getting. It has nothing to do with your intellect. Your intellect, you can figure out how to do things. That doesn't mean you're going to do them. You'll hear people say, I believe that, but their behavior would indicate they've never even heard of it. Why? We believe something on a conscious level. On a subconscious level, the paradigm believes something else. There's a word called praxis. Praxis is the integration of belief with behavior. We've got to take the beliefs that we have consciously, that we determine by thinking, and plant them in the place of the old belief. See, I used to believe that I couldn't do anything better than I was doing. I felt fortunate that I was on the fire department. The idea of building a company that operated all around the world, furthest thing from my mind. But you know something? As I changed my paradigm, my whole world changed. That's what we do. That's what it's all about. You've got to change your paradigm if you want to change your life. Now, you can study all you want. If you don't gain an understanding how to alter that program, and that's what the paradigm is, it's a program. It's a multitude of concepts that are fixed in your subconscious mind that literally control your behavior. It's a beautiful concept to understand. It's a terrible one if you don't understand it, because it literally controls your life. Why do you think most people go right through their life and keep getting the same results year after year after year? Well, it's just the way it is, and they don't know. We should be taught this in school, but we're not. How is the paradigm formed? Through the repetition of information. How's the paradigm changed? Repetition of information. Now, let's suppose you're having a difficult time with money. You find that you got more going out than coming in. You've got to change your concept about money. How do you do that? Through the repetition of an idea. That's where affirmation comes in. I'll give you one I've been using for years. I am so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. I am so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. You don't just say that once or twice. You've got to repeat that maybe 1,000 times a day, every day for maybe 90 days. And you'll start to change your whole concept about money. Wealthy people all have multiple sources of income. Now, I'm going to tell you what happened to me. I drove around with a battery-operated record player and a long-playing record. And I played it over and over again every day for probably a couple of years. This was so totally illogical. It was behavior. Everybody thought I was losing it. And I'm reading the same book every day, Think and Grow Rich. As a matter of fact, I'm still reading the same book. And it was the repetition of Earl Nightingale's information and the book that changed the paradigm. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't understand what I was doing, but I did it. You know, I had a man come up to me in the Waldorf Hotel in New York, the Waldorf Astoria, at the end of a 3-day program, and he said, Bob, I really want to thank you for what you've just given to me. He said, for the first time in my life, I've understood how I accomplished what I did. I said, what did you do? He said, I won the gold medal in the decathlon in the Olympics in Melbourne, Australia in 1957. That's right. Milt Campbell. And he said, I never understood how he did it. He said, the next time you run a seminar, I want to bring my boys. And he did. Milt and I became great friends. In fact, Milt has a key to our house. He can come stay there anytime he wants. I live in Toronto. He's in New Jersey. But here was the top athlete in the world, a very best athlete in the world. He didn't understand how he got there. Most people that are very accomplished cannot tell you why they are. That's why they are. They've rewritten the program. They changed the paradigm. They might not have understood how they did it, but they did it. That's what our company is all about. We teach people how to change paradigms. I want to thank you for watching this, but I'm going to ask you to share it with other people. Share it with them. Say, come and watch this. Start a rapport. Build a rapport with people. You know, it's a great way to live. And this is great information to understand. Thanks for listening. It's Bob Proctor. I enjoy sharing it with you.
Awesome stuff. Fired up. Rock, what you got for us?
Man, I got so much from it. I love him. We've been listening to him, like Aubrey said, past week, and I really like what he's talking about. And I really love how he's talking about just vibration. And I remember just a couple of years ago being very excited about vibration and how everything around us is literally a vibration, from the car that you're sitting in, the body, like everything is in constant movement. We just perceive it to be solid. We perceive it to be still. So I think it's just absolutely phenomenal how our thoughts influence the way that we feel, and they influence the vibration that we're in. So I really loved how he was talking about how ideas will influence your vibration. He's like, and we are in a constant vibration. So whenever you ask someone, hey, how's your day? How are you feeling? They'll say, okay, or I'm not feeling so great, or I'm mad, whatever it is. They're not really aware that this is just something that they're in. They perceive it to be as something, as who they are. But if you can start disconnecting yourself from feelings and from the thoughts, you then have a higher consciousness. And how he said, you can get yourself out of that state. It takes a shift, like just recognizing that you're in a certain vibration and you can get out. So I thought that was awesome. I also liked how he said how, whenever you're a baby, the reason that you are the way that you are, the reason that you think the way that you think, all these things come from you whenever you were a kid, and he talked about how if you grew up in a household where there was always problems about money or all these issues, you're going to grow up with that. And I can personally say that, for instance, in my household, it was always a conversation of, we don't have money. I don't have enough money. It was just like all those types of things. And I remember from like my teen years up to a certain point in adulthood, having that mindset, like it was so embedded in me, I had amazing credit, like all these things. And then all these things started to tumble down, and I started to see a cycle that started to play out in my siblings and in my parents. And I was just like, wow, I'm falling into the same cycle. And that's where I learned about the blueprint. Like you have this blueprint of what your parents instilled in you. However, you do have control and power to shift the thoughts, to shift the paradigm that was given to you. So I thought that was so powerful, because he said it's not going to happen overnight, but what it will take is constant repetition. It's kind of like when he was saying his affirmation, like, I'm so happy and grateful I have multiple sources of income flowing my way. Like he talked about that. So you can't just say it one time or two times. You got to say it 1,000 times a day for 90 days. That's how you start to penetrate your subconscious mind, because your subconscious mind are habits that have been given to you. And like, I'm 27 years old, so there's a lot of like junk, I'm sure, that was programmed whenever I was a kid. So I can't expect to just shift and change it from one day to another. It's gonna take repetition. It's gonna take practice. So those are some of my takeaways. I don't want to go ahead and like go into all the takeaways because I can.
She usually does, actually. So I'm surprised. All right, I want to stand up because I want to take up the energy a second. So
he's trying to shift the vibration.
Shift the vibration, man. I love this video. What's so funny is I was over at my dad's house yesterday. We were talking about some of these things. And it's funny how it coincides with what we're doing here. But a couple of things that I really took away was Bob Proctor always talks about reacting versus responding. They sound very similar. I didn't understand the difference until I thought about it more. Reacting is automatic. Somebody approaches you in a certain way and you get mad. Instead of responding, like you said, is like, I'm going to choose how I respond to you. I can either get mad with you, or I can say, hey, I'm not going to get mad with you. I'm not going to let you dictate automatically my actions, because I'm not a machine. I'm a conscious being. So reacting versus responding, how much reacting versus responding am I doing is something that I want to be aware of now. Am I letting people's actions automatically make me react in a certain way, or am I choosing my response and how I react or respond to the stimulus in my life? So I really like that. He talked about the conscious is the portion of your brain where you get to choose the thoughts. You can choose between what you believe and what you don't. But the subconscious does not know between right and wrong, doesn't know between real and not real. All it takes is the images and the words that have been placed in your conscious mind repetitively over and over. It takes that as a blueprint to create your paradigm, which in turn creates your actions, which create your reality. So for me, that was key to understand about how this flow works. It's conscious thoughts repetitively create an imprint on your subconscious mind, and your subconscious mind creates your habits, and your habits create your life. So for me, one of the biggest things I took away is repetition is the mother of skill. I've always heard that. And also repetition is the father of habit. So Roxy was talking about playing certain things over and over. This is the part that I was talking to my dad, my little brothers, my uncle over there. I was like, I've got to reprogram myself for all those years that I used to listen to music or watch TV or watch movies. Just think about how much time has been spent in your particular life. When I think about this, how much time have I spent watching movies, watching TV, listening to music or the radio, or in class, listening to somebody talk? Those are years of programming. Years of programming. I don't know about you. I can't listen to the radio nowadays. I definitely can't watch TV. I don't watch many movies unless it's a documentary or a really good movie, because when I sit there and like consciously look, they're talking about trap queens. I brought this girl over and I got her on my stove and had her whip. I'm like, what are they talking about? It's usually BS. B, it's very derogatory. 3, it's not in your best interest for a good life. If you really sit there and listen, even when I sit back and listen to some of the stuff I used to listen to, I'm like, I can't even listen to stuff anymore, because I used to just hear it, and if it had a good beat, I'd be like, cool. I wasn't even really paying it. I wasn't responding. I was reacting. I was like, this is cool. I don't even know what I'm listening to, you know? And it was subconsciously programming me. It was programming me to want rims on my car. It was programming me to want a grill. It was programming me to want big speakers in my car. It was programming me to want expensive clothes. It was programming me to want to go out. It was programming me to want to be promiscuous. It was programming me to do all these things that weren't necessarily in alignment with, you know, a happy life. It was in alignment with a consumer life, you know, a spend all your money life, a live for the moment, and who cares about the future life. That's literally what I was being programmed with. I was like, man, if you sit down and listen to some of this stuff, like I was talking to my little brother, I was like, Fetty Wap, like what kind of a name is that? And then number 2, he's talking about Trap Queen, but you'll hear it bumping all on the streets. And I'm like, I feel like people are zombies, like, yeah, Trap Queen. I'm like, you think he really met a girl and had her come cook like drugs in his house? No, he's probably never even touched drugs, selling them. He's just talking about this and got it on a beat, but now people are being programmed. Like, do you know what you're listening to? Like, I'm going to bring this girl over. She's going to rip on my stove. I'm like, nobody's going to do that. You get 20 years in jail for that. You don't understand that? But people be like, I'm bumping it with moms in the car and everything. I'm like, I feel like sometimes I'm in a movie where everybody's just like, yeah. And I'm like, does anybody hear what you just said? Like, did nobody hear that? It just 17,000 times programming their mind. And they wonder why things down the line might not come out all right. So for me, what I took from that is like how I used to do that. Like every day I woke up, I had music on. When I was in the car, I had music on. We were watching movies, I had it on all day. And now for me, what I'm taking is I got to have positive programming at that level like I used to have now, because I've got to get reprogrammed from all that stuff I pre-programmed. So every time I'm in the car, I'm listening to audiobooks, positive messages on YouTube or audio. When I'm in the gym, I'm listening to positive messages or songs that I know don't have a negative message. Triple M every morning, reading books. You know, just started Sam Walton's book. Like, I went over to my dad's house and started asking for some books to borrow because they got a library, they don't use it. Just start filling your life up intentionally with positive things that are going to take you where you want to go. That's really where I took it. So I'm going to pass it over to a few other people. I want to see your guys' takeaways. I know I got a little fired up about Fetty Wap and Trap Queen. I don't know why. But let's get a few takeaways. Jay, what you got for us? You got a takeaway?
Hang on. We can't hear you.
I'm trying to get. Are you on mute?
Yeah, I am.
Oh, there we go. Good to go.
All right, cool. Yeah, when he was talking about how the subconscious responds to he doesn't know whether it's reality or non-reality. I thought that was really cool. Because we know as health coaches how your body will store up the fat if you don't eat at a certain amount of time. You know what I mean? Because it thinks, oh, let's go into starvation mode. He doesn't even know whether starvation mode is reality or not reality, but your body responds to that. You know what I mean? And so just the level at which your body responds to, you know, I don't know whether we would call it the subconscious or not, but just your body responding to something that may be reality or may not be reality is frightening and awesome at the same time. So, like, what else in life can we get to respond to what we tell it is reality? You know what I mean? So I really I thought that was really enlightening and insightful. So that's really my takeaway.
Powerful stuff, Jay. Thanks for your takeaway. That was killer. I see Razine. You want to give a share away? Let's see what you got. I saw you preaching yesterday on IG.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Good morning, everyone. I loved how he was talking about habits and your reaction versus your response. I've noticed since I've been on my health journey and also just my journey in life, you know, before it was like, oh, my stomach hurts, I'm hungry. You know, that was a reaction. That wasn't a response, you know, because it was like, okay, me not thinking about, I just ate like an hour ago and I ate more than I should have eaten, you know. So I thought it was awesome. Everything was awesome. It's very like relatable to everything. Also was thinking about when he was talking about habits and being programmed. My 3-year-old, she's on puzzles now, you know, and the reason why she's doing that, at first I was like, oh, she's followed in my footsteps. However, she's doing that because that's something that I've shown her, you know. And so it's like the things that we continuously do, the repetition, that's something that becomes a part of us. And it hearing that again makes me aware of the things that I choose to do. Like you said with the music, before I used to listen to all this music and I used to watch all of these shows and I wasn't even paying attention to the messages that they were basically putting into me. However, now that I don't listen to the same music or I really don't watch TV, it's like I have a different like outlook on life. You know, it has affected me like greatly. I'm really excited to implement some of the things that I've learned, and also just for the information that he gave was awesome.
Awesome.
Nice.
Great takeaways. Love it, Razine. We'll get one more if anybody else can share. I know we got a few people at work. If you could share, come off of mute. If not, share on your Instagram and Facebook. Tag us. I think that's it. All right. Good stuff, you guys. So great job. We're about to post this to YouTube and then share the link with everybody. Just like Bob Proctor was saying at the end, let's pay this forward. Invite others to look at the message. We're doing exactly what he was talking about. Share the videos with others. Let's create a rapport. That's exactly what we're doing. But let's continue to do that. And one thing I wanted to leave you guys with right before we left, it kind of bounced off Razine's takeaway. My little sister's about 6 years old. I was talking to her mom yesterday. I was talking about the program, and she was like, you're so right. I had your little sister watch a Disney movie before we went out. And when we went out, she started saying things like, I think I'm fat, Mom. And she was like, she got programmed from the Disney movie. Now, I don't know if you guys have ever, like, sitting there. I'll see some patients during the day, and I'll see, like, kids are just sitting there in front of Disney movies or TV or randomness. It's not, you got to remember, for me, I got to remember, it's not that people are intentionally doing that. People just don't know better. Like, I didn't know better. I used to get home and watch Simpsons. I didn't know that I was programming my life to think that's how a family should be. So just now we're starting to raise our awareness, like all these movies, all these cartoons, all this music starts to create in anybody that listens to it, their subconscious. Remember, your subconscious doesn't know between right and wrong, reality and non-reality. All it takes is what's given to it. So these cartoons, these movies, these music get imprinted to a young mind much faster than it does us. You got to remember, they don't even have the faculties to say, wait a minute, I've had an experience that doesn't align with this. They haven't had the experience yet. All they know is that. So for me, that was a big awareness point. Like, you know, kids ain't going to know them movies. They're going to be on some different stuff. So I'm excited for us to start preaching that message of intentionally giving messages to the family members and all we know. So great stuff, you guys. Have a great Monday. I'm so fired up right now. I'm ready to get it. Let's go change more lives. That's what we're on the mission for. Have a good one. Let's finish out January strong. Last week of January. Peace out. Have a good one. Everybody come off mute. Where you at? Give us some energy. Hey! I know everybody, most people are at work. You get the energy you can. Hey, good work, you guys. Adios. Peace.